You're welcome to Healthtitude. On Healthtitude today, we'll be looking at female genital mutilation, the health implications, and treatment. As this program is all about our health, we find it very imperative to really talk about this topic because it has to do with the health of the woman. In the studio this morning, I have Edith Onwuka. Edith Onwuka is the chairman, National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, Anambra State. She is also a passionate nurse that handles. She has experience of women that have really passed through this topic we are looking at. You're welcome to the studio, Edith.
Thank you.
All right, let's begin by looking at, let's try to get the understanding of what actually is female genital mutilation, FGM in short.
Okay. Thank you. Female genital mutilation is a removal of external genitalia of women for any other reason apart from medical reason. So this female genital mutilation, like I said, it has no medical relevance, and at times the people believe that it is part of tradition to circumcise a woman. And because of this program, we are going to look at the health implication. But the whole world frowns at this FGM, even though it is being practiced in some part of the country, some part of the Asia, and so on and so forth. But actually, we are discouraging female genital mutilation because of the consequences, which, as a nurse, I have witnessed, and I have some testimony about people that have been circumcised, what they pass through.
Okay. Now, according to statistics, it says more than 200 million girls and women alive today have actually undergone female genital mutilation in 30 countries in Africa, the Middle East, and Asia, where FGM is practiced. How true is this statistics?
It's true. It's true. The statistics is true. And coming down to Nigeria, the prevalence recently is 19.2. So it's still being practiced. Yeah, it's still being practiced in Nigeria with the highest. We record highest statistics in Southeast, having 35. Then Southwest 30. So in the Southeast, if you analyze it more, it is more prevalent in Imo and Ebonyi, though you can still find it in Anambra, Enugu, but not as high as Imo and Ebonyi. Then in the north is more, but in Fulani tribe they don't practice it at all.
Okay, now the WHO, according to they were of the opinion that some health officials are used to perpetrate this or to perform female genital mutilation, and they are actually frowning at it. Now, when we talk about the health implications of female genital mutilation, what are the health implications? Do we benefit anything from practicing it or otherwise? Please let us know.
Okay, thank you. But before I proceed to that implication, let me say that there is no qualified health worker or medical personnel that the school of thought trains the person on how to perform LGM. We only circumcise now. We were taught in the school on how to do male circumcision.
Which is the normal
Which
thing.
is the normal thing. But no trained medical personnel carries out that female genital mutilation because by the virtue of our training, we know the implication. So before we talk about the health implication, let us briefly look at the types of this female genital mutilation, how it is done. Number one is the which is the
Okay, it actually has, there are types
yeah,
of,
there are times,
okay,
different
okay,
ways that the circumcisers, they
mm,
have different ways that
that's why it's called types.
they are
Alright,
types.
let's get to know
One
that.
is clitoridectomy. Clitoridectomy actually is the removal of the clitoris. In a female genital organ, the clitoris is the small tissue that is highly sensitive. We call it the erogenous zone, which actually arouses person's interest during the sexual intercourse. So they believe that when that portion is cut off, the woman will be just like a log of wood. She will not have any urge,
Feelings.
any feelings for anybody. Then the second one is what we call the type 2, which is scraping of the labia majora and minora.
Alright, talking about female genital mutilation, can you let us know the types of female genital mutilation that we have around?
Okay, thank you. Knowing the types will also expose us to knowing the implication that is associated with it. Number one is clitoridectomy. Clitoridectomy is removal of clitoris, and the clitoris is the female genital little organ that is highly sensitive. And we also say that it is the erogenous zone due to it is the aspect of the human vagina that when you touch it, the person will feel, aroused or feel, sensitive and have that touch. So when it is removed, the person will not feel anything again because that zone has been cut off. So in that case, when it heals, it may lead to tear. We'll still talk about it, maybe the obstetric implication. Then the type 2 is, scraping of the labia majora and minora, which is actually the muscle folds that covers the vagina. So in this case, when they scrape it, they believe that when they scrape it together with the removal of clitoris, the woman will not have urge again. The third one is infibulation, which is actually removing everything, the clitoris, the labia minora and the majora, and then stitching the orifice, just leaving a little hole for menstrual flow and urination. So actually this one, if they can be corrected through corrective surgery by opening those places they stitch can be separated. The last one is unclassified method, which actually we cannot say this is how they do it. And the common one they do down here is using the powder or pomade to rub on the baby's the vagina. As they are rubbing it and mutilating it, at times that clitoris will fall off. At times they will pour corrosive substance in order to mutilate the area. So that's the four types of female genital mutilation. Then coming to health implication.
Okay, we'll still get to that, but before then, the program is Healthtitude, reaching you from ABS television. Here we are looking at female genital mutilation, the health implications, and of course, treatment. I have Nurse Edith in the studio. The program is Healthtitude, reaching you from ABS television. We're talking about female genital mutilation, the health implication, and treatment with Nurse Edith in the studio. A very short break at this point. We'll be right back to go. Do join us again. Yo, welcome back to Healthtitude, our health enlightenment program. On today's program, we're looking at female genital mutilation, the health implication, and treatment. Now, let's get to the main dish of the course of being here. What actually are the health implications of female genital mutilation?
Thank you. If we are to discuss on the health implication, and it will take us 2 days But for the purpose of time, we are going to, cut it short and then pointing at those, serious implications which, as a nurse, I have witnessed. One, coming to obstetric complication, somebody that has been circumcised, if the person gets pregnant and during labor, we normally experience what we call difficult delivery or even obstructed labor. Reason because the vaginal wall is supposed to be elastic and distensible. But after female genital mutilation, those areas that they cut will now, form what we call fibrosis. It will heal, and once it heals, it doesn't expand again. So when the baby is trying to come out,
That's the issue of cervix.
yes,
Cervix
the
expanding and
service will open normally because that procedure doesn't reach to the cervix. It is only on the vaginal wall. So the cervix will open normally, dilate normally, up to 10 centimeters that will allow the head of the baby to come out. Then on reaching the vaginal wall, it will meet, resistance due to that the vagina doesn't expand. Normally, like we are now, the vagina is what? Close. It's locked with this. But if there is pressure coming, it will do what? Expand. So with female genital mutilation, it doesn't expand again because there are fibrosis here and there. Just let me say, just here, the scars. There are scars here and there, and it will not extend.
naturally.
Naturally, what will happen is that as the baby is forcing to come out, there will be what we call multiple tears. It will tear both the left side and right side, and at times it will lead to what we call third degree tear. We have first degree, second degree, and third degree tear, depending on the weight of the baby that is coming out. So that one actually can lead to woman to death because of what? Heavy bleeding. Because as the thing is tearing, it may, tear the big vessels and the blood will be pouring from that angle. So actually, this one we experienced it. And if you take a look at a woman that is circumcised, it looks like a masquerade head. Very, very ugly. In short, you can't, if you see it, you will do like this because it is very, very, how would I put it? It's not good to see because that's the clitoris that we know has been cut off. It will be like just a normal circle, like there's nothing to differentiate. You will even find it difficult to see the urethra. So that's number one. Number two, for the fact that this procedure is a crude procedure that is not approved by WHO, and we did not learn it in the school. The people that resort to doing this are the traditional birth attendants. And traditional birth attendants, they have no knowledge of aseptic techniques. What do you mean by that? What do I mean by aseptic technique? That is carrying out procedure on a sterile condition that is free from microorganisms. So when they are doing this thing in an unsterile environment, the person may land in getting infection. And this infection will go along with destroying, many organs, leading to different diseases, yeah, ailments to the woman. Person may end up getting what we call pelvic inflammatory disease and also other diseases like candidiasis because those equipment they use is unsterile. It's unsterile. The labor room or whatever, it's not sterile. So that is another one. Then also if we look at the other side, the person may be shocked as a result of heavy bleeding. That's for obstetric. Then let's come to physical and emotional implication. Somebody that has been circumcised, at times they don't know. I call this about the when I used to work in the labor ward, they won't even go. If you ask them, where is circumcision? They say, I don't know. Because it's carried out at a tender age. So only to discover, maybe if it is a nurse that doesn't hold her temper, will shout, I do that, I used to worry people, don't do this, don't do this. But as a nurse that handles patients a sensitive patient, you have to do what you have to, educate the woman and counsel the woman. So we have to counsel the woman, telling her that some part of her vagina has been cut off and she has to live with it. So at times they feel guilty, they feel ashamed. At times when they come to labor or they will remove, they will refuse to open their leg. I don't know if nurse will see it now, nurse will be shouting at me. But as a trained health professional, we are trained to manage both normal and abnormal cases. Situations. So in that case, it's lies more on counseling and reassurance. Then another thing is once that clitoris is cut, when that zone is being touched, the system will secrete the lubricant that lubricates the vagina. So that during intercourse you don't feel it. But when this thing is off, at times the vagina will be dry and you see the woman having what we call frigidity, that painful sexual intercourse.
Okay, and do we have any relationship between female genital mutilation and BBF?
Yes, of course. Like I said, during you know, obstetric complication, when I mentioned about obstetric complication, the woman may have tear that will extend to the bladder or to the arms. When it extends to the bladder, is BVF, vascular vaginal fistula. That will result to the woman passing urine uncontrollably. Then if it extends to rectum, it will be RVF, rectal vaginal fistula. The fecal matter now has its way to the vagina.
Which one is fecal matter?
That's physics.
Okay.
That is physics.
Okay.
So the physics will, have its way to the vagina, which will land the woman to serious infection. The woman will end up having infection because the physics contain microorganisms that most waste products that the body will throw off. So when it goes back to the system again, the body will see it as an antibody and it will affect the woman's genital system.
All right, the program is still Healthtitude on ABS television. We are talking female genital mutilation, health implications, and treatment with Nurse Edith in the studio. We'll take another short break here. The program will return shortly. Do join us again. Welcome back to Healthtitude. On Healthtitude today, we are looking at female genital mutilation, health implications, and treatment with Nurse Edith Onka, who is the chairman, National Association of Nigerian Nurse and Midwives, Anambra State Chapter. Now, Nurse Edith, we've really seen this health implications and what can happen to anybody that passes through female genital mutilation. Now, do we have cure for a person that has already been affected or is passing through one challenge or the other as a result of female genital mutilation? How effective can this cure be?
Thank you, Nani, for that question. Honestly, the treatment is not in all the types that we have treatment because it's a permanent disability already. But once that clitoris is removed and it heals, it will not grow again. But the one we can think of treating is the infibulation, where they now stitch using whatever. So that one, experienced gynecologist or obstetrician can try and, or surgeon can try and separate, try and do a corrective surgery. The other ones, like other treatments in other types, lies on reassuring and telling the woman to accept it in good faith and continue to live with it. So our treatment base is based more on prevention, sensitizing the general public, especially those people that still believe that why they do female genital mutilation is to prevent promiscuity. Like I normally say that whether you circumcise a girl or not, if a girl that wants to be a wayward will be a wayward girl. The whole thing lies more on parental training. So that's why it is very, very imperative at all levels, government at all levels, to join hands in this female genital mutilation. In Anambra State, they have that law actually, but the issue is how many people have they prosecuted? How many people have been convicted? And it's a serious issue, and it has fine. It has fine. Anybody caught or anybody helping another person to do this FGM is liable to 4 years imprisonment or 200,000 naira fine or both. And the other day, we had this studio. I was with a lawyer who actually elaborated it very well. But the issue now is let the Ministry of Health that has that responsibility of promoting the health of an Nigerian, let them have the desk officer and also carry sensitization more to the villagers, especially these TVAs. Train them and then tell them the implication of this. That's the only way we can prevent our future girls from getting involved. Some women up till now still believe that female circumcision is good.
Okay, now, according to research, that the treatment of the health complications of FGM, that's a female genital mutilation, in 27 high prevalence countries, is estimated to cost 1.4 billion US dollar per year and is projected to rise to 2.3 billion US dollar by 2047 if no action is taken. So, as a nurse, yes, as a
the
nurse,
high cost of treatment,
yes,
and it's because it's corrective surgery, we have to try to artificially correct the vagina.
the one you can
The
correct.
one you can correct. You understand? It is even the ordinary, health implication. Doing a corrective surgery is always expensive. It's not all the people that can afford that. So
Okay,
it's better prevented than allowing it to come.
okay, it's better prevented.
Yeah.
Now, going by this high cost of treatment of the complications that result from female genital mutilation, is that if no action is actually taken. Now, you are a nurse, you are in Anambra State. Do you think something is being done to really help the people know that this is a no-no?
Yes. Actually, there is unit in the Ministry of Health that is having with that responsibility, the reproductive health unit. They are supposed to, take care of every reproductive issues of the Anambarians. They have different programs, family planning, antenatal and so on and so forth, adult reproductive health. So, if they focus more on this, on sensitizing the populace on the implication of female genital mutilation, it will go a long way. And also, I've not seen, an NGO that is working on this, though there are some. There are some. I've seen one in Ebon, but I don't think currently we have NGO working in this female genital mutilation in Anambra. So you see, it calls for collaboration with government at all levels for us to institute, a mechanism of, reaching out to the public, especially those living in the hinterland that still practice this FGM, telling them the implication. It's something that they see as part of culture. It's not something that you can correct to. It entails constant, sensitization and trying to making them to buy into your idea, telling them, backing your sensitization with tutorials for women that have undergone female genital mutilation, what they pass through. That's the only thing that we reduce the incidence. So, if a prompt action is taken, and the action is not immediate action that we take today and see the result tomorrow.
Alright, that's just about it on today's episode of the program Healthtitude that came to you from ABS Television. You heard it from Nurse Edith, that it's expensive to actually maintain or manage female genital mutilation, and the health implication is so enormous, ranging from so many things that infection that somebody can equally die as a result of female genital mutilation. Thank you so much, Nurse Edith, for being here. Nurse Edith is actually the chairman, National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, Anambra State Chapter. And my name is Monia Mokoye. Let's do this again some other time. Bye for now.